So a person that's person that says sorry all the time actually doesn't mean it. That's one of my real weird things that I go by in life. So I am not going to apologize again for my lengthy 7 or 8 day absence. Even though I am sorry, I'm not going to say sorry because it tends to make a liar out of a person. Holy crap, folks! Things have been nuts, crazy nuts. All good, I guess. But things have been crazy with here, the farm, the weather, trying to keep up. We got blasted like a banshee. To hell we have there a 22 hour snowstorm. Started, we're talking last week now, started Friday and didn't end till Saturday. So lots of cleaning up of snow. The list goes on and on. The list never stops. Work outside the home. Yeah, we're going to talk about those big bales. Something was done today. Work outside the home, of course. If you catch the channel and the videos, you know with the railroad systems, our phones just don't stop ringing. It's been a madhouse. It's a real crazy first month of the year. I literally just looked at a very sizable another project in Chicago, and I'm going after a survey. You can call it a pre-bid if you want. It's not a pre-bid, but I'm going after a survey to put a pre-bid together. Tuesday next week, which is a very lengthy, big ordeal. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. All that being said, those are all my excuses, plus life in general, for kind of being gone. We're going to talk about those big 4x6s in a little bit. If you do keep up with the channel, you do know that I do not have a 4x6 baler. I'm going to touch on that too. Right now, we're going to try and catch all these animals eating their dinner. They are eating and finishing up their grain. These are some of the beef calves here in the lot. It is unbelievable the rate that they are growing. In fact, shame on me, I should have started on it tonight. Now, those 4 chews to kind of sit back, that's a brand new bale of alfalfa baleage. It was just fed, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. But it comes down to it. Things are getting pretty crowded in here because I'm not kidding you, they're getting bigger. That and they're getting more aggressive with competition. This bunk needs to be opened tomorrow morning, and I need to start feeding some grain in there as well. They're all doing really, really good. I'm very happy with them. Very pleased with their rate of growth. It's unbelievable. They've hit this growth spurt that truly only I, you know, if you deal with them all the time, you're the one that's able to tell. Yeah, pretty amazing. It's been snowing and sleeting off and on here for about a day and a half. It's going to continue for another day and a half. I'm not prepared just yet to talk about the 4x6s. We will in a little bit. All right, there's been a couple of questions here and there, some comments on peas and oats. When are you feeding the peas and oats? What does it look like? How do the cattle handle it? This is peas and oats. Now, I've already fed out, and I know I did some videos on it. It's all right. I've already fed out about 50 bales. That line is gone. This is part of the sorghum field that I had to plant the middle with peas and oats. I've now entered this stuff with the line that I opened on what I call across the highway. It's good stuff. I'm a huge fan of the peas and oats after what I witnessed this year. I can only imagine the harvest that you can bring in with a peas and oats crop. Now I put this in. No, normally you would put peas and oats in as what I call a mothering crop. To grassland, alfalfa, whatnot. That wasn't the case with this. Maybe that's what made the difference. I don't know. But We'll talk more to come. I've got a good amount of peas and oats going in this coming year, 2020. So we'll be able to gain a little further education. All of us will be able to gain a further education. Nope, don't want to talk about it yet. So yeah, I did a small bale run here today and only had to do a small one. I'll explain that as well. Has something to do with the 4x6 bales of hay. They got their alfalfa. There's another one waiting for them here probably in about 4 days or so. The reason it looks all chewed up right there is because it is chewed up. That was the last face bale out in the field, and the deer are just attacking it. This is some very good hay that was, this was 2 bales of hay that was basically served as the end cap to the line that I just opened up here early this afternoon. Okay, we had a fresh barn cleaning this morning, so she's going to look a little bit clean in here. At least the gutter system's completely clean. These dirty pigs are, it doesn't take them long. They're done with their grain ration. Continue to do pretty darn fair. I'm going to make a little bit of a change here in the barn. I'm going to try and thin things out just a little bit. There's quite the collection of manure, a lot of bedding, and a lot of cleaning that takes place in here. A little too much more than what is wanted. Therefore, in the next week or two, I'm going to rid this barn of 3 good sizable calves that are going to head out into the lot. In fact, this heifer right here, 1065. In fact, 1064 here is questionable as well. 1065, I can promise you, is going to stay on this Vieser farm. I'm no cattleman, but what a great looking heifer calf. This steer that's got a little bit of a problem here. Nothing to be alarmed about, folks. It's very possible that he is heading out into the lot. Settle down, for God's sakes. And then there's a good-sized, well-conditioned heifer in this back pen that I plan on kicking out as well. And which one are you? This one right here. This heifer is guaranteed to stay on the Vieser farm and start producing calves at some point. This one's damn near the same size. I'm going to think about this one too. So what I'm going to do basically is 3 or 4 calves are going to be shipped out of this barn because they merit to do so. Size, they're doing real good. They need to be out there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, all right, these are the bulls. These are Black Angus bulls right here. I'm going to take 3002 because he's got the devil in his bloodstream, and 3004 because I am not happy with his condition. They're going to get transferred over into this pen, along with 2012, this little steer here. He's a one nutter. Yeah, I admitted my mistakes. What are you going to do? We're not perfect. The vet's going to come and do a little bit of castrations. Therefore, I'm able to split up these bulls in these pen 2 and 2. They're getting to be of size. This is just way too small of an area for 3 of these younger bulls. It needs to be a 2 and 2. Anyway, that is my plan. That will happen in the next 2 weeks. Once those 2 bulls get castrated, and what I'm going to say are kind of on the mend for a couple of weeks, they're then also going to be kicked out into the lot. Knock all that off. I got to thinning things out just a little bit around here. It's getting just a little too crazy in here with all the bedding and manure. And we're gunning for a every 4-day barn cleaning, and it's just not working. if you properly bed and keep things clean, it's not working. All right, enough's enough. Let's talk about those 4x6s, for God's sakes. I bought some hay. I bought 16 bales. I just hauled home 8 today because, boy, are these things monsters. Now, I've been told before that there's double the amount of hay in a 4x6 compared to a 4x5. Now, anybody just doing the simple math and think about those numbers is calling baloney right now. I call baloney myself. Not anymore. I do believe that there is double the hay in there. Anyway, a good fellow farmer, not very far away. I dare say a good friend. Fellow neighbor farmer. We came to an agreement with 16 bales of hay. He does have a surplus, which is good. Good for him and I that he can spare some. A fair and generous price was put on them per bale, and I decided to pull the plug and start buying some feed. Now, here's the deal. Am I out of feed? No, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. The paper and the pencil aren't meshing anymore. I'm looking at severe trouble come mid-April, end of April into May. Now, the third week of May, I can guarantee you we will be starting the grazing system. I'm doing something about this scare now versus in about a couple months from now, when this hay that's available right now is not going to be that, or it's going to be double the price. So I'm doing something about my problem now. How much more extra feed will I buy? I don't know. I'm going to take this as it comes. I actually have about 2 or 3 different places that's available, that I have what I'm going to say acquaintances and relationships with, where there's some trust and blah, 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 and where they're not going to murder the checkbook. I don't know what else to say. I once said, when you make your own feed, you know, this is about biting your own words, which I seem to do all the time. When you're running a farm and you have to buy your own feed, and you make feed, and you're buying it, it's the beginning of the end. I need to bite those words. I guess my old famous words, we're going to call that an insurance policy. An insurance policy is going to be needed. I'm not smart by any means. That is a fact. What I can do is operate a pencil and paper. Time, days, tonnage, and feed. Cattle. The list goes on. And it ain't jiving no more. It ain't jiving. So for the 5th time, I'm doing something about it now. Even if we are talking about, I purchased 16 bales. I can haul 8 at a time, so I bought 2 loads. We're only talking about 16 bales here, but we're talking about 16 bales. It is kind of a different story. I gotta deal with you again. That's the younger bull right there. Oh. So I'm on a different regiment here. I'm the first to admit I got a whole bunch of fat cattle. Okay? I know I do. They've been spoiled. They eat very well. I believe I said this on last video. That last video was so long ago. Who knows what I can't remember what I said. Fat cattle is a problem, folks, especially with mothering cattle. Calving season is coming up real quick. For me, the 3rd week of March. Now that's not normal for me for calving, but for some, I bought some animals here. This when did I buy them? This fall. They are due in March, and then come April, we're just going to start spitting. For anybody that doesn't know, and it's okay that you don't, and I can only assume that this is maybe just common knowledge. It is very unhealthy to have, there's no other way to say it, fat cattle that are about to calve. An immense amount of problems, what comes with calving, overall health, the list goes on and on. So what I'm trying to say is, these bunch of pigs are on a diet. They're on a dry hay diet. Tonight I fed out 3 4x6 bales of hay. I'm very excited to see how long these last. Every morning, every night, they are going to get 1 bale of wrapped, basically for some candy, so to speak. But yeah, it's some pretty fair, pretty good grassy hay. These bales are wrapped tighter than I don't know what, which is great. They are heavy. They made my 6420 with the loader, it was squawking. You breathing hard behind me? Huh? Oh! Call me a fool if you want. I really don't care. My heart's not that tender. I'd be an even bigger fool to go looking for feed and losing sleep in the month of April. I am ashamed, I am embarrassed that I have to actually admit that I'm buying feed for this operation. Here I've got all the tools, all the tractors, all the implements to make my own damn hay and hay ground. This stems from the bad year that we had. 4-week drought followed by 5 weeks of non-stop rain. It is what it is. There's no use crying about it. You can cry when you're balancing the checkbook, which I've cried the last 5 years every time I balance my checkbook, so what's the big difference? There's them bulls. Yeah, that's one of them right there. That's the young guy. Mess around, I'll put a hurting on you. Maybe not. So yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. I guarantee you 2 days. We'll see about anything after that. Understand all these cattle were pretty damn hungry. I gave them kind of a light feeding this morning on purpose to start this new regiment, mainly of dry hay, this evening. This is just a bale of corn fodder that was just set out here real loose. Basically something to play with, something to bed on, and of course they've eaten a considerable amount. These 3 turkeys here are 3 out of about 7 that I have not weaned off yet because they're too crafty and I can't catch them in the corral system and close the gate. I had to lunge right at you, grab you by the neck, and just haul you away. That's what I really should do. Right? Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. 1066, she will be staying on this Vieser farm. That is going to be another addition along with 1052. Another addition of heifers that I'm going to keep back. Well, I was real smart. I'm really gibbering on here, folks. And of course, back there is peas and oats. The older bull is back there. We're just going to leave that alone. There'll be plenty of time to take a real good look at those peas and oats. I talk like that because I know there was quite a few of you interested in it. Almost lost you. I just finished my 2020, what I call my crop rotation, planting, harvesting report. It's something that I put, I keep with me when I'm gone. It's something I continue to look at. I keep a copy within the milk house of the barn. Anyway, I just finished it. Now, it's not to say that it can't and won't change a little here and there. Last year's crop report changed on a few different areas. But I am bound to sit down and discuss it with you at some point. We got a hell of a year coming, folks. There is some new news in there. There's also some speculation, which I can't stand, but it is what it is. And I'll kind of share with you where we're going this year, what we're doing. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to say sorry, folks, but things have been hectic, very hectic. It's supposed to be a good thing, though, right? Busy. Busy means you're surviving, I guess. This is the lean-to where the Holstein steers are in. Heck with it, we'll cut in this way. And of course they're a bunch of babies, spoiled, rotten, and greedy, right? They're basically telling me it's time for hay. I shared this on a different video, but their habit they've formed by kicking most of their hay out is just getting ridiculous. Very nice mild temperatures. Oh, losing you again. Folks, this thing's going to shut off here in no time. Apologize in advance if it does. Very nice mild temperatures. As you could probably tell, the heater's been put away for now, mainly because of nice barn cleaning this morning. Wanted to scrape everything up. But I have no intentions of pulling that heater back out and setting that up for probably, from what I'm seeing, multiple days. Pretty lucky with some pretty fair weather right now. Very mild. In fact, I'll go ahead and go back on some more words. I gotta stop talking so much is my problem. The temperatures are so nice and mild, especially for this time of year, and the outlook is actually fantastic. That we are flirting with the idea of opening up the 18-foot silo. Only because of the possible feed problem around here and lack thereof. See what happens. I got to kick all the hay in, throw some hay down. I got a couple little odds and ends to do, and then I need to sit down at the table here tonight. I got a bunch of paperwork to work on. Finish up my own tax prep so I can make an appointment and cry the blues and all that other good nonsense, right? Pretty darn sure I'm keeping him. I'm either keeping 3003 or 3006 for my own personal use. I got some decisions to make here, though. Anyway, I got to get going, folks. It's good to be back. After last week, I'm not going to promise anything. That just makes a jerk out of me. But tomorrow is Friday, also known as Shout Out Friday. I actually did have something all prepared last week, but just timing wasn't there. We'll see if we can make up for it tomorrow. So anyway, good to see everybody again. Talk to you sooner or later.